Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Woldolf's Garage. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about the Malibu and some of the struggles and things, kind of problems that have gone on with it and what all happened. So stay tuned. All right guys, so today I'm going to talk about the Malibu a little bit and some of the issues I've had with it. Luckily I haven't had all the problems that some of the people have had, but I've had some of the problems. This thing literally sat in the shop for 4 months whenever I owned it, and it was under the full manufacturer's warranty. So it's a 17, I bought it in 17. It's the second model year of whenever they made this new body style. Thankfully it was the one, and it's kind of back and forth on whether or not people think it's a good thing or a bad thing. I think it's a pretty good thing, but they did have some issues as well. So the 2016 had the first transmission they had out with it. This one's got the 6-speed automatic. It gets a lot better gas mileage. I was in the lower 40s whenever I took it out to Tennessee not that long ago. That was one of the issues that people were also having, is that the clutch in the new transmission for the 17 and 18 was going out constantly. So a lot of warranty work was being done. Our neighbor had a Equinox with the same setup. This one's it's the 2.0T, the Premier Edition. She had a Premier Edition with the same setup, and her transmission was going out. She had 2 of those replaced before she finally got a good one. Thankfully, knock on wood, I haven't had any issues with it. The issues that I had were just some fit and finish things, and it eventually got to the point where the parts guy and the shop guy just finally said, look, it's not a show car. It's not going to be perfect. I got it just about to where I want it, but there's some few small things. Whenever I did get it, there was a spot on the trunk lid where there was a piece of dirt that got under the paint. They fixed that. In the steering wheel, there was a little spot that they fixed, but just mainly just little bitty things, nothing real major. The biggest thing that I do want to talk about today is the third brake light seal, because that seems to be a pretty common issue with this body style. The third brake light seal on the 17 that I know of, probably the 16s and the 18s before they did the little facelift, the gasket on the third brake light would go bad constantly. I am on my 3rd gasket for mine, and warranty work keeps fixing it, but the only problem with it is if it's out of warranty, it's something to kind of be a little leery about. And you'll notice it whenever the third brake light seal goes bad, because you'll see the water rings on the rear of your headliner. Whenever that happens, you go get it fixed soon, because what's going to happen is water is eventually going to start getting into your trunk as well, and then you'll get the mold, mildew, and things like that. So let me take you over and show you something to look for in whenever you know that the third brake light seal is going bad. Is right, I don't know if you can see it, but right in here is when you'll start seeing water lines, and mine went all through here, and all this was soaking wet every time I go to the car wash. But this gasket right here, with the way it's set up and designed, the gasket under here will go bad, and then water starts leaking in. Doesn't sound like a horrible problem, as the gasket is relatively cheap. The only problem is every time this would happen, they would replace my headliner, because the headliner would get damaged because there's insulation up there. And then since it is the Premier Edition, it's got the camera there behind the mirror. And what they would do is they would have to take the camera off of the front windshield, and they said that the only way to get that camera off of the front windshield was to break the windshield. So every time they would do it, they would end up putting a new windshield, headliner, and third brake light gasket on it in order to fix it. So if you do have one and it's out of warranty, that is one thing to look out for. But other than that, I really haven't had any issues with it as far as engine wise. I've heard some people say that they've had turbo issues, but it's mainly on the smaller engine. It hasn't really been a whole lot of the 2.0Ts. I generally like it. It's a peppy car. It's a lot peppier than what I expected whenever I bought it. But yeah, that's about it. probably put a full list of all the things that the warranty work fixed on it. But the main thing was the gasket, and then some fit and finish stuff, nothing too major. So anyways, that's it on the Malibu. We'll be doing a few more things to it, so stay tuned. All right, that was short and sweet. I'll keep everyone up to date and see if there is any other issues that come up as far as like engine wise and things like that. As far as I know, there's nothing else really wrong with it. I've had it since 17. It is a 17. I haven't had any issues other than just mainly the brake light and then some fit and finish issues. So that does it for this episode of Woldolf's Garage. What we're doing.